A very good morning to all of you. Uh, at the outset, I would like to request our Director IASRI to kindly welcome our guests on the dais. Sir. Sir, we are celebrating 150th year of our Rashtrapita Mahatma Gandhi's birthday, birth year. So on this occasion, we would like to give you some gifts from Khadi. Sir, I would like to request to welcome our DDG Education, Dr. R.C. Agrawal ji. Sorry. Also, I would like to request our director to kindly welcome our Honorable Director IARI. Sir, please take seats. I request our Director IASRI to kindly give his welcome speech. Sir.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Dr. T. Mahapatra ji, Secretary DARE and Director General ICAR, respected Dr. R.C. Agrawal ji, National Director NIHEP and DDG Education ICAR, Dr. A.K. Singh ji, Director ICAR IRI, Dr. Anil Rai, ADG ICT and Head Cabin ICR ISRI, Dr. A.R. Rao, Principal Scientist, Cabin Division ISRI, all colleagues from our institute, dear participants of the training program on high dimensional genome data analysis by R&Open source tools, and also the participants who have come for the review of the cabin scheme from different institutes of ICAR. At the outset, I welcome you all to this training program inaugural function that is sponsored by NIHEP on high dimensional genome data analysis by R and open source tools. This training program initiated on 1st of November, that is yesterday, and it will be closing on 11th of November 2019. We are really privileged to have our respectable Director General ICAR and Secretary DARE with us. Along with him, we have DDG Education, Director IRI, and this shows that how our seniors, our respected sirs are keen in getting that subjects, science delivered by us in the different institutes. This particular training program is on high dimensional genome data analysis using R. R is a open source software and it is widely being used by the scientists of different ICR institutes. And moreover, this R is going to be used and demonstrated hands-on for genome data analysis, and ISRI at Cabin has Ashoka, that is supercomputer central facility of ICAR. So I urge the participants to get full benefit out of this facility at ISRI, and the faculty who are there in Cabin division, they are well versed in the subject. They have published papers, research papers on genomics in highly rated NAS journals. So you can get benefit out of their expertise, and I hope that this training program will be very successful and you will be going back to your respective institute with enriching knowledge as not only in R but in genome data analysis. With this, I close my talk here and wish success of this particular training program, and thanks again to dignitaries on the dais and of the dais. Thank you.
This is regarding about the training program. Let me add my own words of welcome to all the dignitaries on dais and off the dais. The training program, as mentioned by our director, sir, is that high dimensional genome data analysis by R and open source tools. Every year in the month of January, the Nucleic Acid Research Journal, it publishes an issue specially meant for databases and web servers in the field of genomics and bioinformatics. So that's the need of the hour, I feel. And also need of the hour in the country is that we should equip our students who are young scions in the field of molecular biology and biotechnology and other allied sciences with the analytical tools, whatever we are using at this center. So sometimes there is a dependency on this center, so we would like to disseminate this. We make them experts in this field. We are trying to make them experts in this high dimensional genome data analysis tools, open source tools and R software, so that they can go back to their universities and make a snowball effect. They analyze their own universities, whatever research projects data is emanating, and as well as help other students also to analyze the data sets. And second point is the quality of research work always supplemented by the skills in analytics. If you analyze in a proper way and draw interpretation in a biologically meaningful manner, that will increase the flavor of the quality of research work, and that's how you can get good publications. Third point, again, the cutting across different disciplines. In this students lot, like there are 27 students have been selected. We received 140 applications in this training program, but with a tough selection based on merit, based on gender equity, based on social status, we draw these 27 students representing different state agricultural universities, central agricultural universities, and ICR deemed universities. I request all the students, when I ask you to give introduction, the dignitaries and the dais will be coming to know that from which state, which domicile you belongs and all. And the fourth point is the training highlights would be like, we not only give emphasis on the R software and other tools, also we have invited many domain experts because both way it works. Like a domain expert like biologist having getting a flavor in the field of bioinformatics analysis or high dimensional analysis, or a computational biologist who has developed interest in biological research. Both ways we can excel in the field of high dimensional genome data analysis. So including the recent topics like genome editing, assembly, annotation, many other topics we tried to cover under this training program. So these are the few points which I would like to highlight, and not standing between you and the our dignitaries on dais who would like to we would like to get their remarks and inaugural address by Honorable DG of this of ICAR, who shows the whole path of Indian agriculture at the current date, as on date, what are the interests, what are the pathways which under his guidance we go. So we would like to listen more to them. So with these few words, I just would like to request our students to introduce by saying their name, from which university you belongs, and from which state you belong, and what is your area of specialization. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Rohit Patel. I belong to Anand Agriculture University, pursuing PhD, and from Gujarat.
Parthi Rahwat from Sardar Kushinagar Dantiwada Agriculture University, Gujarat. Good morning, sir. Myself Rakesh Kumar Chaudhary. I am from Maharashtra. Currently doing PhD at University of Agriculture Science, Dharwad, Karnataka.
Good morning. My name is Mr. Snehasis Mallik. I am doing MSc Bioinformatics from Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, Bhubaneswar, Odisha.
Good morning, sir. My name is Saurabh Singla. I belong from Punjab. I am doing my PhD in Agricultural Statistics from BHU. Varanasi.
Good morning to all. Myself Chitti from Kerala. I am doing PhD in plant breeding and genetics at Kerala Agriculture University. Good morning to all. Myself Magurishwari. I am from Tamil Nadu. Currently pursuing PhD second year in Central Agricultural University.
Central Agriculture University.
Meghalaya.
Meghalaya, sir.
Good morning to everyone. I am Rajamanikam from Tamil Nadu. I am doing my second year PhD in veterinary physiology from Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animal Sciences University.
Good morning, everyone. I am Narayan Ram Gurjir from Rajasthan. I am doing my PhD in Department of Genetics and Plant Breeding from Agriculture University, Jodhpur, Rajasthan.
Good morning, I am Navarun Roy from Tripura, and I am doing my PhD in Agricultural Biotechnology from Assam Agriculture University, Jorhat.
Good morning to all. Myself Suraksha Samu. I am pursuing MSc Bioinformatics from OUT.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Sheetal, pursuing my PhD from CCSHU Hisar under the discipline of molecular biology, biotechnology and bioinformatics.
Good morning. My name is Shikha Dubey. I am from Himachal Pradesh. Currently, I am pursuing my PhD from US Harvard in genetics and plant breeding.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Priyanka. I am from Andhra. I am pursuing MSc Agricultural Statistics in Andrew, Tirupati.
Good morning to all. Myself Abhinay Rajam from Tamil Nadu. I am doing MSc Agricultural Statistics in Tamil Nadu Agricultural University.
Good morning, everyone. I am Basaraj PS from Karnataka. I am presently doing PhD in Professor Jayasankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, Hyderabad.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Saurabh Panikari. I am from Odisha. I am pursuing my MSc in Agricultural Biotechnology from Rajendra Prasad Central Agriculture University, Bihar.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Preksha. I am pursuing my PhD from CCSHU, Haryana.
You belongs to which place? State of your domicile. Okay.
Haryana.
Good morning, sir. My name is Dr. Amol Jagannath Sabakar. I am from Maharashtra. I am pursuing my PhD in animal genetics and breeding from IIS.
Good morning, respected dignitaries. I am Aneet Kaur from Jammu and Kashmir. I am currently pursuing my PhD in animal genetics and breeding from National Dairy Research Institute.
Thank you, students. This way, one more is.
Good morning, sir. Myself Ashok Singham Sethi. I am from Andhra Pradesh, and now I am pursuing my PhD in genetics and plant breeding, BHU, Varanasi. Thank you.
Good morning to one more present here. Myself, Tarneet Kaur, and I am a PhD scholar. Currently pursuing my PhD from ICR, NDRI, National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal, in the field of animal biochemistry, and my hometown is Delhi. Thank you.
Good morning to all. My name is Malesh Prajapati. I am pursuing my MSc Biotechnology from SBQR, Meerut.
Good morning to all the dignitaries on the stage and off the stage. I am Malini. I am from Tamil Nadu.
I am pursuing PhD in plant physiology from IRA.
Good morning to all. My name is Nip from Vietnam. I study MSc in Plant Physiology Division. Currently, I'm doing my research in Nanazi Dashma Plant Phenomics Center. Here, I already.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Adib. Currently, I'm doing my PhD in plant physiology at IRI. I'm from West Bengal.
Good morning, everyone. I am Biswaviplav Singh, pursuing my PhD in plant physiology in IRI.
So thank you, students, for your brief introduction. That's how we come across students, got students from Jammu Kashmir to Kerala, and from Gujarat this side to northeastern states. Now I would like to request our dignitaries to release the training manual quickly. So with many efforts from our faculty members and all, we could able to get this manual done. So on this occasion, we would also request our Honorable DG sir and other dignitaries to release 3 pamphlets we made. These are the works from our cabin division. So quickly, please bring that. So thanks a lot to the dignitaries. We were kind enough to release our works, whatever we had, best possible we have done at our center. Now I would like to request our Honorable Director IRI just to say 2 lines, sir, please. His remarks.
Respected Secretary Dare and DG ICR. Is it audible? Respected Secretary Dare and DG ICR, Dr. Tilochar Mahapatra ji, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, DDG Education and Director NAHEP, and also Registrar General BPBFRA, and Dr. Ahmed, Director of this institute, Dr. Anil Rai, ADG, Dr. Rao, Head of the divisions. I find Dean Dr. Rasmi Agarwal, Dr. Biswanathan, who is PI of this project, and many of the learned colleagues here and the dear students who are participating. IRI has been given this responsibility from ICR to work on this project, and we have been organizing regular training programs. Probably this is the 8th program, Dr. Vishwanathan? 7th one. So 7th one in the series, and I think many of the staff members also have been benefited, and also the students from across the country, they are coming. And it has been webcasted also on many occasions. Probably this time also it will be getting webcasted. And many of the students who are there at the far-flung locations, they are sitting in their own campuses and going through this training program. This ISRI training program is more important in terms that it cuts across all disciplines. As said by Dr. Rao also, that it's not only belong to one discipline, but it is applicable to all. And that's why I could find that participants from all the disciplines are here. And they will be greatly benefited. ISRI has been making a lot of contribution in terms of reaching to the farmers, in terms of putting certain applications. And we, through KVK also, we try to go to the farmers. We have got certain modules here like KVK portal we have established here in ISRI. And many of the models, we wish that ISRI contribute in a bigger way, and the data sets which are there available at the moment, quite huge data I will say, the day it is look into at the KVK system itself, huge data is generated every time. Look into the monthly reports or annual reports. But metadata analysis, that is what our Honorable DG has been all the time telling, that kind of analysis is not happening all across. And if that starts happening, ISRI probably can play a bigger role, and it can utilize the services of the other organizations which are there with ICR. And once that is available, the kind of data which we require for the kind of, you can say, the planning and the research, that will be happening more precisely. And probably this is the time, the next plan period which is going to commence, a big project on this should come. And our Honorable DG all the time has been talking about the big data management also, artificial intelligence also. But let us implement through a big program involving all the institutions and the KVKs, so that the data generated at the ground level, that is meaningful, and it becomes a kind of analytical tool available with ISRI, and everybody gets benefited. I find many of the surveys which comes with 2,000 farmers, 3,000 farmers, even if you look into the exit poll analysis, that also it's not a big data set. But we have got a large pool of data sets which can be collated here, and probably that can be effectively done. I wish that this training program becomes more meaningful, and those who are here from different institutions, they become our ambassadors in the years to come, and they keep their touch with IRI and ISRI. That is what I will request, because once you go from this training program, many of the lessons which has been taught here may not be, you will be finding that you are not getting support to pursue all those activities there. So in that context, I will request the participant that you be in touch with the professors here, those who are teaching the advanced courses, and many of the students who are coming all the time, they are appreciating, because I have been participating at the end of the programs also. So learnings which you get here has to be continued there at your own place. The development of projects which you are going to make in the years to come, those should be influenced by the learnings what you are going to get here. So with these few words, I am thankful to the ISRI for inviting me, and Dr. Viswanathan also for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to request our DDG Education Director, R.C. Agarwal, sir, to give his remarks. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Hello. So thank you, Dr. Rao. Honorable Secretary DARE and DG ICR, Dr. Mahapatra ji. Honorable Dr. A.K. Singh, DDG Extension and Director IRI. My colleagues, Dr. Tokir, Dr. Anilai, Dr. Rao, I see Dr. Beswanath, Dr. Annapurna, Dr. Rasmi, and many faculty members, scientists, and dear participants. First of all, I would like to compliment the IARI. Sir, under CAST program, we have 14 partners as on date, and we have another 2 slots which are available with us, for which just few days back we had a meeting. So IARI is one of the partner which was given in the first round this project under CAST. So Center for Advanced Studies in Agriculture Technologies, and I have witnessed few of the programs which they could organize in Division of Plant Pathology, and I think this is my 2nd or 3rd program, and really the kind of enthusiasm I see in the whole team, in which they have IASRE also, and they have the NVPGR also. NVPGR also I could attend one program under this NAHEP CAST. And this also I see the young students from almost all disciplines, animal science, dairying, plant breeding, statistics. So that again shows that they have a good choice from different streams. Now friends, under this NAHEP, under this CAST, we have a total outlay of around 400 crores, and if you see, it's around $47 US million. So this is one of the big component which we have got, and in IASRI we have another component that is under component 2 we have supported. So they are beneficiary under 2 programs, and I think partly they are also partner in another program with the PJT-SAU. Okay, so 3 programs are running here, and so big responsibility is there with the IASRI, and under these 3 big responsibilities, the component 2 we have given a big amount for making a IT-enabled platform, whether it's a data recovery center or some other IT tools which they have to develop. So overall, if you see the responsibility with the IASRI, so it is a huge responsibility under a very limited time, and to conduct such programs under that huge responsibility again really is a praiseworthy to the entire team, and especially to the coordinator of this program, that the use of R software, which is really very useful, and the most importantly, it is a free software. So because it's available in the online through this open source. So making the persons aware about this R software, and that too for the high dimensional genomic data analysis, is really very useful. Under such the thematic areas, we have around 8 thematic areas under CAST, and like precision agriculture, secondary agriculture, we have the topics like conservation agriculture. So one of the topic is genomic assistant breeding, and where this IRI is one of the advanced center which we have notified for genomics, and if you see their technical progress, it's really very good. And I give example in some other universities also that work like IRI. Okay, so that was there was certain issues for procurement which I could discuss with the director IRI, and we had a meeting with the complete team and the finance persons, and that I hope maybe slowly progressing well now, and we can meet the targets. But if you see the technical progress, it's always number 1, and it remains number 1. And if you see whatever targets we have given for the technical progress, they are achieving all the progress. And I'm having a chance to visit to attend this today's inaugural function, which also really shows a lot of enthusiasm from all the participants, from all the faculty, and that really will help long way to the students in this emerging area to learn the techniques, to learn this artificial intelligence. I think artificial intelligence also we have certain topics in this. So that really will benefit all the participants. and can also give us a chance to ask other universities that how best they can take advantage of such programs, and how the other universities also can interact with IARI, so that if they want to organize such programs or they want to participate in such programs, so that more and more programs we can conduct, not only this year, next year also, depending upon the outcome of this particular program. So my request to participants is that once you get this training, please disseminate to other colleagues, because it's not possible for them to train each and every student. So your colleagues, you just tell them the plus and minuses of this program, and tell the organizers also how best they can further improve this program, so that we can plan some more programs if it is beneficial for the participants. So one last point, sir, I would like to say that this is a unique program of NAHEP, which our Honorable DG has, with a tremendous efforts, with a lot of difficulties, he could get it approved from the Finance Ministry and World Bank. So it's a unique opportunity for the students. You will never see in any other university, whether it's IIT, whether it's IIM, whether it's any traditional university, Delhi University, that the undergraduates or the postgraduates or the PhD students on the university expenditure, they are visiting abroad for the emerging areas. Okay? And that benefit should be taken by these students. So,
hello. Sir.
I think there is a call from Minister Office. So that really is a unique thing, and if you talk, I don't know whether students from this ISRE have visited or not, but I could see from the introduction of the students that in many of the universities the NAHE program is running, like Assam Agriculture University, the program is running, and DRI it is running. So from your universities, a lot of students are going, and you must be seeing the change in the thinking, the vision of those students who visit abroad. Okay. So overall, we are trying that how to improve the quality of the higher education, and for that we are making many other changes, many other interventions for which we have we had a deliberation just 15 days back under the chairmanship of our Honorable DG. So whatever amount is left with us, about 100 crores, how best now we can use that amount to further improve the quality of the education, whether by development of technology centers, for development of e-courses. So we can also consider this bioinformatics and the genomic analysis as one of the technology center by utilizing the balance fund, whatever is available with us, so that our students can get maximum benefit out of that. So I will request the ISRI and IRI if they can think of some such tools which can be developed online for the benefit of the students, so that we can request them to develop the complete proposal and can see the financial assistance under the innovation grants, the third component. So with that, I once again thank each one of you and ISRI, and thank our Honorable DG that he could spare time to give us vision to guide us for the further future course of action. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, sir. As you agree, we are all eagerly waiting to listen to our Honorable DG, sir, for his message today. Sir, I request you to give your address, sir. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Dr. A.K. Singh, Deputy Director General, Agricultural Extension, also Director IRI. Dr. R.C. Agarwal, Deputy Director General, Agricultural Education, and also National Director, National Higher Education, National Agricultural Higher Education Project. Dr. Tokir Ahmed, Director, Dr. Anil Rai, ADG, ICT, Dr. A.R. Rao, colleagues from IRI, heads of the divisions, 3 of them are here, heads of the divisions of the IASRI institution, and other colleagues from the 2 institutions who are present here, and more importantly, the trainees of this particular program on high dimensional genome data analysis using R package. And this is being carried out, as it is already said, under the Center for Advanced Agricultural Science and Technology program, that is a CAST of the National Agricultural Higher Education Project. And you might be knowing, because as I see, it was initiated yesterday, and you had also some programs and inaugurating in between, midway today. And this is a project being run by the Indian Agriculture Research Institute, and I think Dr. Vishwanathan is the PI of this particular project. And ISRI and NBPGR, I am told, are associate institutions where the program is also being conducted, and particularly the trainings. And this is one area which is a very specialized area, and in this ISRI has the expertise, and for a pretty long time ISRI is working in this particular area and developing human resource, developing software tools, and also analytical methods, and analyzing data for various purposes. ISRI has a long history of dealing with data. As you know, any statistics institute would do that. And when I was a student, I wanted to analyze my molecular data, and at that time this computer center was there, and I came here for analyzing my data. So those days, the kind of beginning in terms of use of computers for genomic data analysis. So not much of expertise was available at that point in time. So I had to run from one to another, and finally I landed with Dr. Ex-Director, what is his name? No. Prem Narayan. So those days he used to sit in IRI central office in some capacity. There was some Dr. Kumar here who was heading the center, M. Kumar or something. So, simple analysis, that is single factor analysis of variance for identifying QTLs, quantitative trait loci. Sat there in his room more than an hour, so on a paper he tried to explain the principle of it, though I was already teaching that in my classes.
So I was taking some classes those days. So he explained those using statistics and whatever principles. So then subsequently, I had to search something, and then myself and one of my junior, we started analyzing ourselves and did those initial papers we published here and there. And that is how we started QTL mapping in this country. And those are the first papers published in the country on quantitative trait loci mapping. So this institution had tremendous strength, and also it continues to have that kind of strength and also grow further. That is briefly about the institution, but I think quite a bit of information they will be delivering, and you must visit the data center and see the activities and know about Kevin and Asoka and how they are functioning. They must be told about all this. And welcome students. I think that's a good sign that our students are opting for knowing the unknown. And that is, आप लोग बैठ जाइए, ये सब आप बाद में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करिए, जाकर बैठिए. फोटोग्राफी हो गया, आप बैठ जाओ, और ज़रूर नहीं है. So I was telling that this institution has grown, and there are a number of facilities which are being there. And I was telling about students, and when I started teaching, and in that course there were 9 to 10 students used to register. And I used to also, I registered as a student those days. There are about 7 to 9, 10 students, maximum 12 students some years. So when I started teaching, so my senior professors and then guides and all that, they said, so students don't take interest and they don't come to the classes. So I used to take few classes as students, and subsequently when I joined at the Biotech Center, so in the initial years I designed a proforma to understand what students actually want. It's not me and my perspective delivered one way kind of monologue, and students are asked to just learn it, remember it, and reproduce it. Oh yeah, I designed a proforma almost 7-8 pages or 10 pages, covering all aspects, including my own demerits that anyone wants to express. And I had my own problems of pronunciation in English those days. I didn't know how to speak in English correctly. So even today I don't know, but I have improved. So all those included in the proforma, and maybe there in my old room in NRCPB, those results. So, and for 5 years I did that to understand myself, where I stand. And slowly, from 10 students it went up to 50. And there were no chairs to actually accommodate them. And there will be another minimum 20 to 50 some years. There will be research fellows and others. Even some of the colleagues would come, and some of those students might be sitting here. I don't know, those who have taken those classes. So what happened, why I'm telling this, is it's okay, you will have training on R and all that, you will learn analysis. But it's a bit of more philosophical, that a course where, and majority of the courses, even today, except some of the 3-4 basic courses, so students don't opt for courses, But those days in the library, central library, there used to be registration. And there will be long queue of students to get my signature. And there will be 5-6 pages of signatures. And there will be about 50 students and 250 signatures I used to make in few minutes time. So that was the kind of, it's continued for 20 years. So that's the kind of interest that you can create in students, inspire them, and in the process attract them to a particular course, a particular aspect. Once they understand the value of it, I don't think anybody can stop them. So making students understand the value of what you are telling in the form of teaching or training would determine how effective your training is going to be. It's not just having some aspect and delivering some courses and classes and then explaining something, but making it impactful and very effective delivery so that they know what is that they are learning. They know how that learning is going to be useful. It's not just learning per se, but learning the whole dimensions of it so that it's very, very impactful. And not just immediately for their PhD degree, but subsequently. They would never forget. And I believe, that has to be the philosophy behind this kind of trainings that we design, Dr. Rao. And Dr. Rao was a reluctant entrant to this field of bioinformatics. So in one of the projects, I invited him to IRI and then he came. And almost I forced on him to do bioinformatics. And before that we started in the form of some students' guidance and all that. And some work we published on diversity assessment and all that. And subsequently, the kind of papers he has published, I co-authored some of them initially. So I think that is, a kind of schools that the leadership can create. So that is what is very, very important. So it's not you just made one person enter, but you also keep supporting, and we continued in a particular project, interacting. And that is how you create a particular school. Now subsequently, you have Kevin, you have Asoka, you have people, and you have other people coming in, you have a whole lot of things happening. So in the process, you have created history. The history is that this institution, where it was so difficult to analyze even a molecular marker data for a quantitative data analysis, quantitative and loci location and analysis, that was in 80s. And 30 years down the line, you have a school which is created. So, and then did school on bioinformatics, analyzing the data and huge data. And today you are learning our software and open source tool, how to utilize in your own, analysis during PhD. So this is one aspect of it. I'm sure I congratulate everybody, and then ICR leadership also played a very significant role providing funding, and some of these people being exposed to, and you see some of these, 3 of these kind of leaflets or whatever is released is based on just Dr. Rao's initial experience in US on the splice site analysis. GTAG rule is the common rule when I used to teach students for the discovery of splice sites. But it may not be very so convincing a rule that every time you will discover splice sites by you use that. And you require additional features to be considered. What are the negatives, what are the positives, and how do you compare these two and give weightage and then see and how and where this GTAG rule would apply and then you will find out convincingly a splice site. But always, when we used to do this genome analysis, in terms of use of software tools, particularly this high volume sequence data when used to emerge from rice genome sequence, and those days we used to grapple with these sequences. First of all, to know the quality of the sequence. So there are 3 software tools which were combined and in a package, and which were being used those days: the FRED, the FRAP, and the CONCET. And the FRED is the one who used to determine the quality of the data, and then you can eliminate the poor quality ones by way of that analysis, and then take the good quality data. And there are methods and the statistical expressions, and of course that software is no more being used because the technology has changed, and the analysis has changed, the algorithm has changed. So there are kind of changes which has happened in these 20 years. That was, I'm talking in 2000, maybe 2001. And the FRAP one, put the sequences together based on the overlap. That's called assembly. And then subsequently, the CONCET software looks at the whole assembly and also does some corrections depending, and you can do those corrections. And also subsequently, you build contigs, and then you can join contigs based on additional analysis, and in the process you join sequences and develop the sequence for the whole chromosome and the process for the whole genome. And that was one part of that kind of work that we used to do. And subsequently, when sequence is available, you have to annotate it. So you must know where are the genes. You must know where are the kind of repetitive sequences. You must know, for instance, the splice sites and the other features which are distributed, and very interesting features came out, and those have been published in those 2 Nature papers, rice and then tomato. So it's a global team which worked on that. It's not just we worked, but those days it used to be so challenging to, first of all, when I used to finish those sequence gaps and then all that, it took me 6 months to just finish one chromosome kind of short 150 to 200 kilobase sequence of bacterial artificial chromosome. So the kind of difficulty that used to be there, probably they are not there in terms of sequence per se. The difficulty in sequencing some of those regions, they're still there. Some of those issues are still there. And that's the reason why assembly doesn't work in highly repetitive sequence genomes and big genomes. So there are issues there. But coming to this, because you are going to discuss deliberate on R emerged subsequently. And colleague Dr. Sanjay Kapoor from Delhi University started using that for analyzing transcriptome data. So when I sent my student to analyze that transcriptome data, by that time he had already published some of those using R software. And so we used to discuss those, how to really use R software for our, and so one of my students actually went there and worked on those and learned how to use R software for analysis of transcriptome data. Use sequence information, and you have to really reduce the complexities and find out the common genes, the differential genes, and so on and so forth, and validate them using different kind of tools. So what you are going to learn today, this is not a static field. This is highly evolving field. The kind of approaches, the kind of methodological issues, the kind of complexities. So all these, pave new pathways for, new algorithms to be written, new softwares to come, but R is there for quite some time. We used to use SPSS those days, and we have forgotten that. Mind you, I used SPSS for single factor analysis variants. And I used one marker at a time to understand its association for a particular trait. And continued that repetitive manner. I used to do that for a pretty long time, sitting for days together. And today, you have to just feed all the data together in 5 minutes time. It doesn't take even 5 minutes. Your data is analyzed, and you have those associations there before you. So we are going to evolve. So You learn as much as possible about R. Start using using R for your purposes, but keep your minds open and see how appropriate your data is to a particular method that you are using. Often we commit this mistake. My data is something, I am using something which is not appropriate to data that I have, and then end up with wrong inferences. That is one very important point. Second, the design that I have made, mind you, the transcriptome data you have already been told about. I think Dr. Rao himself has taken practical, and then Soman has taken some aspect of it, I don't know. So if you don't have proper design there, and design of experiments are very, very important, don't forget about it. And even in molecular biology experiments, you must have some designs, and appropriate ones. Not necessarily the field designs that you do, but different ones. And the data that you collect, how robust the data is. Though these softwares, they analyze the quality and then all that, they help you. But you should be able to, you should be careful about it, that data is good quality, appropriate, and then appropriate software tools. And even in R, appropriate kind of method is also employed. And some of these SAS tool, for instance, SAS package, if you don't know what to do, you will never be able to use SAS, I can tell you. So you have some software like whatever ISRA has developed. What is that? SPAR. And you just feed the data and something will come, and then you use your thesis. It should not be like that. You must know what is that you want and what is that exactly you are analyzing, and SAS is one such. You have to apply your mind, and you must have some understanding. So similarly, in these softwares, I don't think all of you have that kind of background in statistics or mathematics to go into it. Neither I had. But you have to really develop some understanding in this, so that you must know that you are not committing any mistake in your analysis. So when they are being told about it, use of R for instance, your genome assembly and annotation. Are you going to do that? I think you are going to do that. And genomic selection also you are going to do. And similarly, you are going for various aspects. I don't want to really. Molecular variants you are going to analyze using this. This is a software you will use for that? Open source. So I do not know whether R will be used for everything, or there will be some other software which will be used. So I don't know that. So when you use that, you used to do molecular variance analysis we discuss in some of the kind of students research fellows program. So we have been discussing this for quite some time to evolve in the process. So these students should be, Dr. Rao and other colleagues who will be taking these classes, they must be told what to do, what not to do, and how to do, and very precisely what exactly to do and what not to do. And if we don't do, they will be committing mistakes. And second, that the students may not have that kind of background to really follow you completely. So see that they are with you. And if they are not with you, the whole training will be futile. So how do you make them understand? Go to the blackboard, and that's what I used to do. Explain them, the statistics and the mathematics, a lot of kind of equations you have given and expressions, and they may not understand. They may not have background to understand those. So I believe you have to go to the basics first and understand, even if you have to stay here up to 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, do that. And that is how it will be a very fruitful exercise. And so that they are not just blank and superfluous in what they are learning. And not just how to use our software package, but what are the fundamentals there for genome analysis, transcriptome analysis, using our software. They must understand and must go back more enriched than what they are so today. So I believe you will be doing that, and I will urge all the colleagues to see that that is done. Last part, that is this National Agriculture Higher Education Project. With great difficulty, it was sitting in a kind of cold store, and it was almost dumped when I came to the council. So we decided that this should be taken up, and it took almost 2 years for us to persuade, and then so that it sees the light of the day. And we had to really manage quite things in addition to reviving and kind of revising and all that, to managing the funding part of it. So it took quite a bit of time for us to have this particular one. And these aspects which have been designed with a purpose. And in this particular case, the undergraduates is a component of what? IDP. And in this case, is the postgraduate students, PG and research students who are actually exposed to. And that is the reason why in this so-called CAST program, your future is being cast. So, and if you are expert, you develop expertise in this particular area, I can tell you, you can create your own niche area for yourself as you go along. And I know the people around here, and particularly T.K. Sahu, when he came as a youngster, and and he evolved in the process, and then he could have been a scientist, probably lost marginally somewhere. So he evolved in the process, and see the number of publications he has during these past 5, 6, 7 years, maybe 8 years or so. So and you, all of you, have that potential, and you can see his biodata, then get inspired by that and what he has published during these years. So you all have that potential to do, and CAST, the objective of this is to inspire you, to ignite that fire which is latent in you, expose you to the newer developments and students like you, so that we have a better future. Better future for you, better future for Indian agriculture, better future for Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Because after all, who is going to lead this country in the field of agriculture? You. So CAST is designed to actually ignite that fire in you and inspire you, and see that your future is actually on a very strong footing and on a strong fundamental, and so that you are not defeated. And learning is key to this, and CAST is providing that opportunity for the postgraduate and research students, scholars, and I'm sure, and this will also provide for the faculties, and faculties being exposed. And day for yesterday, my colleague Dr. Ravinder Singh from Colorado State University came. So we studied together at IRI, and he is a big giant there in terms of molecular biology research, and he worked here in seed science and molecular biology, subsequently double MSc, first seed science and then in molecular biology. And then those days we used to discuss the splicing, how splicing happens. And he developed expertise there and went to USA and then worked on splicing, and in a very short time he did PhD there, 2.5 years or so. And that's the kind of work he did. And subsequently he continues that. He came here, other day also came here. And he wants to, Dr. Agarwal, he wants in a note on how to really help these youngsters, students. If you provide a note, and he will be extremely happy to entertain students from India and arrange universities for that, and for MSc, for PhD particularly, and then also the faculties. So if you can prepare a good note, he is around, and I'm sure we should be able to send some of these students to his lab so that they are exposed and they learn much more than what we are teaching them, and beyond R, going beyond R. right? So that is what is very, very important, and let's scope this. We'll have many good well wishers there in USA. This is one example, and he came on his own. Last year he came, and we discussed something, but unfortunately nothing has happened after that. And so let's take advantage of this visit of his, and put that goodwill into action, and take that advantage so that we give benefit to the youngsters. So otherwise there is no point. If we always think what I will get, we will not be able to deliver anything. If my objective is to benefit others, then every time you will be successful, because you don't have anything to lose, because you are ready to give. So if you are ready to give, you are not going to be defeated any time, because you don't have any expectation. What I'm going to get, that expectation is not there. So all teachers have to be like that. So that are the final word for the teachers and faculty members. So give your best to the students. So wish you all the very best, Dr. Rao. Thank you, sir. And wish this program a very successful one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring speech. We will definitely try to follow whatever suggestions you have suggested during this time. So with this, I would like to request our PI, Dr. Viswanathan sir. Viswanathan sir, so kindly present a moment out of a sort of token respect to our DG sir. Sir, please. Sir, one more, sir. Thank you very much, sir, Viswanathan sir. It is also your vision, and also with the suggestions we always take and proceed in the progress of this CAST project. Now I would like to request our ADG ICT and Head Cabin Center to kindly propose a vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, and good morning to all of you. And I first thanks our Honorable Director General sir for motivation of the young colleagues. Now after this he has to motivate the older people like us. So after this meeting we had a meeting. So it is my proud privilege to propose a hearty vote of thanks on behalf of Center for Agriculture Bioinformatics, ICRI SRI and ICRI both, and my own behalf to the Honorable Secretary there and DGICR, Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra ji, for sparing his valuable time despite his extremely busy schedule, because I know he is working from 9 to 9, even 10 and 11 in the night. So thank you very much, sir, for sparing your time. And in a minute he decided to inaugurate this particular program. So that shows that how eager he is to motivate the people and guide us and enable us to do a research in this particular area. Sir, your share presence as a chief guest of this inaugural function of NHEP sponsored training program of this kind, which is a latest high dimensional genome data analysis by R and open source tools, simply lift us enthusiasm and of these young participants of higher octane, and at the same time enhance the morale of every one of us present in this auditorium. I would also like to thanks to Director IRI to be present here. I know he is also very busy. He had other meeting which is pending, and our DDG Education, Dr. Agarwal, who always guide and encourage us in our endeavor. Sir, you have come here in spite of your busy schedule, and your presence definitely strengthened the thoughts in the young mind. We are also thankful to the Joint Director, IRI, Joint Director Education, Joint Director Research, who is not here, but we are thankful to him also. Dr. Viswanathan, he is a very simple colleague of us, and we always depends on him for so many things. So we are thank you very much, and the head of the division of plant physiology, ICR, IRI, and PI of the project for giving us opportunity to conduct this training program, exclusive for postgraduate students of agriculture. We are also thankful to the council, NAHEP CAST project on genomic assisted crop improvement and management, and the World Bank for providing financial and administrative support to organize this training program. Thanks are also due to the dean, directors, professors of various SAUs, CAUs, ICR deemed to be universities for allowing their postgraduate students to attend this training program and making this program a great success. I thank the core committee members, associate team members, project staff of ISRI, as well as from IRI for making all these arrangements for the training program. Particularly thanks to Madam Manjeet Kaur. I don't know, she may be busy for other program. Dr. Tanmay Kumar Sahu, Mrs. Sarika Sahu, and Shivangi Vasne. I also thanks the in charge of Farmer Hostels and his team for making boarding and lodging arrangement during this training program for our youngsters. We got excellent support from administration and accounts and their efforts are duly acknowledged. We also got full support from all faculty members and other staff from our division as well as from other divisions also in ISRI. Last but not least, we thankful to all those who have directly or indirectly helped in organizing this training program, and we are also, sir, thankful the participants of our meeting, which is just going after this. So they are also sitting, so we are thankful to them also to be here. Thank you all for your kind presence in this function, and I will invite you to join for a cup of tea which is arranged outside. Thank you very much, sir.